Hi, my name is Chris Boyer and I am responding to a homework assignment for PE 570 at Azusa Pacific University. And in response to the question given to me for this homework assignment, I am to evaluate our athletic department. In particular, I work in aquatics and how that relates to scheduling, transportation, and scheduling contests. And so in regard to management of our scheduling, we have conference, in order for me to schedule something, I work through my aquatics director. His name is Dave, and Dave Merriman, he actually was responsible for hiring me, and he was the previous head coach for many, many years. And so he's been very instrumental in just getting us high quality contests. But as far as contests are concerned, there's a number of things that we have to consider with scheduling our contests, and that one of them is if it's going to be home or away, and then scheduling the transportation for those. And this year already at Los Osos, there's been somewhat of a miscommunication at times. The contracts sometimes haven't been clearly communicated, where with one particular scrimmage that we had set up, a preseason scrimmage, it was a local one, which was only a few miles away, but the buses were not contracted because we were under the impression it was a home contest, and it turned out that it was an away contest, and that was what was on the contract. So there's kind of a detail drop there. Luckily, we had discovered this the day before, and so we were able to schedule the bus, and we were able to work it out, and there wasn't really any problems because, like I said, it was local. Buses can definitely be a problem as far as scheduling, and just in general, transportation is an area of consideration with management. With scheduling and scheduling buses, I know that our contests that have been on the weekends, such as we have weekend tournaments, we haven't been responsible to transport the students, even though they start on like a Thursday and a Friday. There is a special process required with paperwork for each one of the families that are transporting their students to be able to fill out that paperwork so that they can transport their student to the location. Like this past weekend, we actually went to Santa Barbara, and we're out in the Inland Empire. And so it's, 2.5 hour drive out to Santa Barbara. And it was ending on a Saturday. So it was a Thursday to Saturday contest. And so because of that, we elected not to have buses, and we used a situation where we had all the students sign forms. And so also with scheduling officials. We have home contests during the summer. We host a league. So scheduling officials is definitely something that could have an issue at times if there's a scrimmage picked up or a lower level game that wasn't during league or in season. At times there's officials who are late, or they just don't even show up, or there was a miscommunication in some way. So making sure the officials have been communicated with is important. And I know that so far in my experience that we've had a few glitches with that as well. We don't actually bring trainers, but I know for football and other sports, they like to have trainers. One area of scheduling that with Los Osos that has been an area of constant communication is release times. With scheduling, when there's multiple teams playing in a certain tournament, or when you have a lot of teams that are playing, there'll be multiple sites and different release times potentially. And so release times, communicating transportation is really important for an athletic administrator, and for us as coaches so far. With scheduling, everything from contests, but also even in practices, team dinners, that scheduling has to make sure that it's coinciding with their academic calendar, making sure that we're not scheduling a heavy week of training or games or entering into a competition when there's a state, standardized testing or important things like finals or midterms that are coming up. Academic calendar and holidays are very important to be observing into our planning and communication. Other areas to consider when scheduling are the multi-levels that might be competing. So if I'm planning on competing with 3 different levels and there's boys and girls, I have to consider the facilities available and how much time it takes to get through all of those games. Another area of concern with scheduling is facilities management. Things like for football and soccer, growing grass, that they might have certain days or periods where they don't want the grass to be used in order to let it grow. Or like with a pool, so I'm in aquatics, sometimes they might have certain days that they're shocking the pool and they're adding more chemicals, and that can create a problem for us in training, especially if it's with a pool, like creating a health hazard that we need to know when they're shutting the pool down for management reasons. And I know even at Los Osos, like one of the things that happened to us is we got shut down for a few days or for a weekend because there was one of the light fixtures became out of socket, and so now you have electrical that's potentially being exposed. And so we got shut down for a weekend because one of the light fixtures hadn't been maintained properly. Another area to consider in scheduling athletic contests is whether there's going to be announcers, security, crowd control. So as well as communicating as an athletic administrator, making sure that the facilities have been cleared to be used, like perhaps a gymnasium has been scheduled to be used for some school event, but there's a basketball game on the same day. So scheduling within the school site is very important, as well as the other resources that we need to have there, like the trainers and the crowd control and anything else that we need to be setting up, even communicating with local law enforcement for potential traffic situations or enhanced security. As far as all these administrative tasks, like I said, there are times when we can drop the ball, and usually that would probably be an oversight by me, my athletic director, or my aquatic director. But as far as school being in compliance with these administrative tasks, I believe that our school is in compliance with the administrative tasks they need to do, whether it's management of the facilities, scheduling, that I feel like I'm part of a high caliber program, and we're very fortunate to have a lot of resources and a lot of people involved. How would I know that we're in compliance with those? Well, I know that, for instance, when our light fixture was not in compliance, that was because we had an inspection that particular day, and the inspector came out, looked at it, she saw, and she made the comments, we fixed it, and I believe our school is within compliance. So where's our school out of compliance with these administrative tasks, and what steps can I take to resolve these issues? Like I said, I believe our school does a good job of being within compliance with these administrative tasks. I think as far as resolving any issues, the only thing that I can possibly consider is just better communication, and so that would require the part of looking over those all of the contracts that have been made for scheduling, and making sure that our scheduling is that we know that we're away or home, and where we're away, that we're making sure we're scheduling the buses. Where we're home, we're scheduling the officials, and we're communicating that very clearly to all parties involved. And then another issue that I could potentially think of is just in regards to security, and I'm referring more to most sports outside of football. I believe football has really good security, and at our campus we have really high level security, actually, in the sense of we have security guards that are on every day. It's a closed campus. Our security guards are, every time I go in and out during school hours, they check up on us. But I think I would like to see that maybe during all of our contests and games. 3:15, 4:15, and 5:15 are typically game times for aquatics, and having security there to allow people in and out and a security presence on deck would probably be a really good step to take. So, conflicts. They're not conflicts. Okay, thank you for taking the time to listen to my thoughts on transportation and scheduling contests.